What is up, guys? Today I'm gonna react to Storyboard or something. Well, I see a lot of their videos. Some of them I didn't watch, so I'm just gonna react to it. Yeah. Okay, let's just get to it. So, wait. This one says, struggle at math in school is so hard.
Okay, so when I was younger, I wasn't really great at math.
Okay,
I was
me
good
too.
at other stuff like literature and language arts and history and all that stuff, but I just couldn't do math as well as I could do other things. I was homeschooled up until 4th grade when I started actually going to a public school. And the first year I was there, I really struggled in math class. My teacher didn't help. He would purposefully call out me even though my hand wasn't raised for a problem. I don't know if other teachers do that, but it just didn't help in my case whatsoever. And he would call on me and I would never have the correct answer, and I would turn red and I would get all flustered and I would mutter, and it just made everything so much worse. That didn't help my self-esteem at all because the other kids would look at me and be like, "Oh, why doesn't she know math? Oh, she's such an idiot for being a homeschooler."
Bro.
And I did know math. It wasn't my strong point. I mean, we all have weaknesses and stuff. Like, I bet most people watching this are good at math, and I bet some aren't, but that's okay. Yeah, this continued for a while, and I tried to get better, but it just wouldn't stick in my memory as much as other stuff would. So I passed 4th grade, and the same stuff happened in 5th grade. Like, I wasn't really getting and hold on anything, and it just wasn't really my favorite thing to do. And I really tried to prioritize it and help myself, and my parents tried to help. And they even made me stay after school so I could learn more things about it, and that didn't help at all either. And I had another math teacher, and he wouldn't help either. He would do the same stuff the previous teacher would. He would call out my name, even though my hand wasn't raised, and I'd have to sit there like an idiot and just keep quiet. And then all the kids would laugh at me, and he'd go on to a different person, which I think is a wrong way to try to teach somebody, is just call.
I have tried this one time. I just sit there and didn't say anything at all. Okay, let's get to it.
Calling out on them when they're not expecting it. And I'm in 8th grade now, and I did pass 6th and 7th grade. It was pretty much the same story for all the grades that I struggled in math. And now I am taken out of that school and I'm homeschooled again, and I've gotten so much better at math, and I can do stuff that I'm confident with, and I'm just grateful that I'm not as bad as I was. And it just takes time, and it takes a certain kind of person as well, and you just have to know what's right for you. Like, you don't have to be great at a certain subject. You can be perfectly fine in another subject. And I'm telling you this story because I know a lot of kids out there are not as great as other stuff. It could be sport, it could be a subject in school, it could be literally anything. But and it's okay if you don't get that hold on whatever you're trying to learn. It's just that you don't have to change. You just might want to improve, and it helped a lot.
Okay. I'm at 6th grade now. 6th grade, and I'm not very good at math, but I'm very good at English. That's my favorite. Okay, let's get into the next one. Let's see this one. God damn it! Why? Okay, this one's called School Lockdown. Okay. Let's see.
When I was in 6th grade, I had the new teacher at school, and she was just fresh out of grad school. She was literally 22 years old. She was really nice, but she kind of just had no idea what she was doing in the classroom. And the whole year, it was just kind of like a roller coaster of up and down emotions. Sometimes she'd get so stressed out and just start crying in the middle of class and would be like, "Oh my God, I'm just like so stressed. You guys are just awful." And of course, everyone in my class kind of picked up on the fact that she had like no idea what she was doing. So they all just made it worse for her by like thinking they could do whatever they wanted. And that just made her cry more, and everything just got so stressful. And there was just really no structure in the class.
This is very
So one day we were in the classroom and we were studying ancient Greece. And suddenly, I just saw her face go completely white. And she was looking at the clock. So me and all the other kids in the class just looked up at the clock too. But instead of it saying the time, it said bell. And I later found out that bell was the code word for a real lockdown, but I didn't know that yet. So my classmates and I just watched as she scrambled to lock the door, close the blinds, and then she instructed us to hide in the corner of the room. And then she just says, "Stay quiet, we're in a lockdown." And she was in tears at this point. She was shaking.
Okay, I don't know what is a lockdown. If I watch this video, maybe I would know what's a lockdown.
And she was curled up in the corner behind her desk. This was the moment when I realized this wasn't a lockdown drill. This was an actual lockdown. And I was freaked out. I just straight up asked her, "Are we gonna die?" And she looked at me, and as gravely as possible, she said, "I don't know."
Oh,
And that literally just sent the whole class into tears.
No.
Some kids were even trying to jump out the window.
Wow.
My teacher was screaming at them that if there's someone in this building, there could be more people outside waiting to get you.
Damn.
I was
scary.
just freaked out. The whole time, I was literally just thinking about dying. It's so morbid, but I was. And I was thinking about like what I hadn't done in my life yet and what more I had to do. And I was basically thinking of my last seconds. And then all of a sudden there's a knock on the door. And we all just like shot up. We thought this was the intruder. First of all, why would the intruder knock on the door? We all just stay there and we don't know what to do, even my teacher. And then there's another knock on the door and my teacher gets up and she goes to the door. And it's another teacher. It's the teacher next door. The teacher next door asks what we're doing. And then my teacher's like, "What? Isn't there a lockdown?" The teacher next door goes, "No, they were just fixing the clock and that message came on." So then we all kind of got up from the corner. We were like, wait, there was no lockdown? Then I looked into the hallway and then everything was just normal. Kids were in class, they were laughing, they were walking up and down the hall, doing their homework. There was literally no lockdown. The only class in lockdown was our class.
Jeez.
Since that day, I've experienced a lot more lockdowns. They're really upsetting and scary, and I just wish it wasn't a reality of the world we live in.
Oh, I know what's a lockdown now, I guess.
Oh my god,
I think a lockdown is mean like killing or something. I don't really know. If you guys know, tell me, because I'm really stupid. Okay, next one, let's go. Okay, so this is called Gun Scare at School. Okay.
So today in English class, our English teacher was going through the rules again, just because I guess like some people were forgetting them.
I really hate those teachers when they just keep saying the rules and just shouting, just saying things about our future. It's the worst, you know that? Okay, let's just continue.
We're like breaking the rules. So anyway, she was like, "Just to remind you guys, there's no food in class, no talking to your neighbor without permission, and if I catch you with your phones, then you're gonna have to have it taken away and your parents are gonna have to come get it." And when she said that part about the phones, this kid raised his hand, and he's like a really creepy kid. And he was like, "Well, what if I shoot you?" Like, hold up, what? You just threatened to shoot a teacher? So I just like looked at him and I scooped my desk away and the whole class went silent. Like nobody said anything. We're all just staring at him. Like we were all just in shock. Like, did he just threaten to shoot a teacher? After like 10 seconds of it being like completely silent, he reached in his backpack.
Okay.
After he said he was
He's just reaching in his bag. Doesn't mean he has a gun in his bag.
going to shoot somebody with a gun. That's when the class went into full-on panic. The kid sitting across from us tackled into the ground, and Miss Bauer was able to grab his backpack and get it away from him, and somebody else ran down to the office super quick and got the police officer to come and get him. It was so scary. The whole school was in lockdown, and they wouldn't tell us if he had a gun or not. They just wouldn't tell us. We were all just wondering, and people were crying and texting their parents. Oh my gosh, it was the worst. Anyways, I get an email
3 hours after school gets out, they're like, well, he didn't have a gun. He was just kidding around. But we're going to take disciplinary measures. Like, disciplinary measures? No, that could be put in jail. But, yeah, so he didn't have a gun, and I'm really grateful for that. Just so you know, it is not okay to threaten anybody with a gun, especially at school, and especially your teacher. Like, what the heck? Anyway, I am glad I'm still alive, but I'm kind of scared to go to school tomorrow now.
Okay, let me get this straight. So that kid said they have one kid reaching whatever. No, I don't really like to explain stuff, so I just get to the next one. So this one's called I Was Homeless. God damn. Okay, let's do this. Okay.
Me and my sisters didn't get along, and I could never understand why.
Okay.
They bullied me, tormented me for a long time as a kid. They would dress me up like a girl, telling me that I should have been a female so that I could fit in, because nobody wants a brother. They would tell me hateful things because I love to eat. They hurt, they teased, they ridiculed. It was terrifying.
Wow.
You know, despite my mother doing her best, she was never home long enough to enforce the rules because she had to take care of us. She had to keep us alive and food in the house and a roof over our heads.
Wow.
As the teenage years came to roll around, the once verbal teasing and emotional trauma ended up turning into violence. Eventually, the violence got so bad that I felt I couldn't be safe in the house anymore. My mom felt the same way, and she sent me to live with my uncle because there was nowhere else I could go. For a little while, things were okay, and then out of the blue, my uncle got evicted, which took me out of a place to live.
That's just sad.
I found myself at Central Park, and ironically enough, this is when Pokemon Go was a big thing, so it was really easy to blend into crowds because everyone was running around Central Park looking for Pokemon, and it didn't look weird for this chubby kid to be sitting down, you know, on a cracked phone, just sitting to himself. I was hungry. I didn't have any money for food, and I found myself at McDonald's, and this group of teenage kids was asking if anyone wanted the food that they weren't going to eat because they didn't want to throw it away, and they ended up leaving it by the door. I waited a couple of minutes before I took it.
Oh, man.
And on the fourth night, I was assaulted by a group of people. They proceeded to beat on me until they figured it just wasn't fun anymore. But after it was over, I took my broken phone out of my pocket and I called my mom.
Wow, that's crazy.
We go about searching for places, and that place led me to an adolescent shelter called Covenant House. I find myself with friends, not camouflaging myself in my pain, but embracing it and finding connections.
Wow,
they're giving me this sense of hope, this faith that things can be better. I find myself connecting to my mother and knowing that she knows that I'm okay. I found my redemption in Covenant House, and I'm hoping that while I was here, that people have found redemption in me too.
Wow, that's very happy to listen to. If you are a kid, homeless kid, or so, never mind. Okay, let's just watch this one. God damn it! My life is CP. What's a CP? Maybe it's
I have cerebral palsy, or it's called CP, and I was born with CP. Almost died.
Wow.
at the hospital.
Oh, damn.
I never gave up. I spent 7 days in the NICU,
Wow.
and my parents were finally able to take me home on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh.
My first elementary school, I would fall down, and the kids would laugh at me.
Oh,
Call me stupid. And what problem do you have?
Okay, first of all, that is not good to say people that's stupid. No, that's not good at all. Don't even try to say people stupid, guys. Never. Okay, let's continue.
I cried. And my teacher was most mean.
Oh, man.
I was scared
Oh, man.
and called
Oh, come on, you still not
names.
call somebody stupid.
I began to hate school.
Okay, I have to say
And I cried, and I was depressed and upset.
that. Oh, man.
And I wanted to stay home. Mom said, "What happened?" And I told Mom. And so we went to look at a different school.
Okay.
And it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of deaf people.
Aw.
And I was not alone. And a few had CP too.
Aw.
I learned a lot. I had friends. And I played baseball. I was good at baseball. And my parents are very proud of me. I am happy and not depressed.
Oh, that's just good, bro. That's just very.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff, had to swim all the way to shore because the dog chased us all the way to the end.
Very happy. Okay, so this is a good one. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, wait. Living with deficit and without junk food. Okay, I don't know how to read that, okay? Jeez. Let's just get started.
This happened a few years ago. When I was a child, I would eat junk food every single day. I didn't eat much healthy food.
I have a lot.
I would eat chips, soda, candy, anything you could think of that involved sugar. My mom told me every day I shouldn't be doing this. I should eat some healthy stuff often, but I just ignored her and continued eating food. A few years passed,
Okay.
and that's when we went to the hospital because
Wait.
healthy stuff often, but I just ignored her and continued eating food. A few years passed.
2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. 4th year. She's been eating like this since 4 years. Wow.
And that's when we went to the hospital because I couldn't really hear much from my ear. So we went to the hospital for them to check it out. So when we went there, the nurse wanted to check my blood sugar. So she did. When she poked my finger, it was kind of hurt, but I was fine with it. When she came back, she had a serious face on her. She looked at me and looked at my mom and said that I have diabetes. So my mom was scared.
Oh, this is diabetes. Living with diabetes and without junk food. Okay.
You could tell in her face that she was worried for me. I didn't know what diabetes was. All I knew is that one of my aunts had it. The doctor said that diabetes is when you cannot make something called insulin that kind of balances your blood sugar. I have to take medicine that was insulin. I have to put it in myself with a shot. I don't like shots, syringes, anything that involved a needle. I would just cry. I don't like needles at all. It was scary knowing that I had to get a shot every single day, check my blood sugar every single day.
Every single
day, all I see is a needle in front of me.
Wow.
It's scary. Whenever I eat, I have to put a shot on.
Wow.
My people look at me whenever we're at restaurants,
like, oh my god, look at that girl, she's putting a shot on. Whoa, what the heck? It's kind of nerve-wracking. My mom told me that I have to start eating healthy. I can't really eat that much junk food anymore, and that kind of, made me sad. I was like, wow, I can't eat no more junk food, no more ice cream candy. What am I gonna do with my life? No! All I'm ever gonna see is greens. After a few years, I kind of got used to the shots, but I am still not used to the blood tests. I'm kind of fine with diabetes now. It's still kind of scary that knowing diabetes, if I don't take care of myself, I might hurt myself. It could damage me. I might die. I try my best to just live on, act normally, just like everyone else, be with friends, do whatever normal people could do. So I just want to say, take care of your body and just be careful and stay healthy, you guys.
Okay, I will. So this is say, don't eat a lot of junk food or you have diabetes. Don't know what that is. Let's see the next one. This is called I Lost My Hair. Okay, let's get started.
I was born with a condition called alopecia, which means my hair follicles just weren't working and I never grew any hair on my head.
Okay.
So I was...
If you don't have any hair out there, it's just embarrassing to go out without hairs. Because if you don't have hairs, people will laugh at you. Because I have laughed at someone with no hair before. And I felt bad that day. Actually, I kind of felt good. Okay, let's just get started. Let's just continue.
Basically bald for most of my life because there's different types of alopecia. There's one where your hair can grow back and fall out.
Wow.
And there's one where it doesn't grow back. And I had that type, so it was pretty hard, like having no hair for most of my childhood. And I had to wear wigs and stuff, and it just wasn't very good. Whenever I was at sleepovers, they'd be like, oh my god, we should do our hair. And I just couldn't get my hair done because I didn't have any. And there was a few times where there were bullies and people were mean to me. Like one time in school, a boy pulled my wig off in front of everyone and everyone stared. It wasn't good. And then there's like a few times where I was confident enough to go out with no hair without putting on my wig, and there'd be people staring, pointing, laughing, and it was sad. But the good things that came with having no hair were I never got head lice. Like I remember getting a note home saying, there's head lice in your class, you should check your child's hair and stuff. And I never had to get checked, and I never had to get treated. I never had head lice because I just didn't have hair. And I'm also on a website called the Rapunzel Foundation where children can donate their hair to people that don't have it. And actually, when I turned 10, my hair started to grow again, and I was like, this is so weird, why is this happening? And it grew and it grew and it kept growing. And then I got some hair extensions when it was long enough, and I had them for about a year. And then I decided I don't want them anymore, I want my own hair. And so I got them out, I got my hair trimmed, and it was just like a dream come true. I'd never gone out with my own head of hair, and it was just so great. And I was so happy, I was so confident.
That's really good. Yeah.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff, had to swim all the way ashore because the dog chased us all the way to the end.
Okay. So, this is good to have hair. If you don't have it, go see a doctor. I'm just kidding. Okay, last one. Let's do this. Mexico earthquake hit my school. Okay, this is the last one, right?
So, I am a victim of the Mexico Puebla earthquake. I don't mean like I'm dead, nor my house crumbled, nor am I down pieces of rubble trying to record. No, my house is okay with a few cracks here and there, and I am still alive. So during the time of the earthquake, I was at school with my friends. Now that same day, we had a practice for the earthquake. So we were in math class and the bell rang, in which it means that we had to evacuate the school. One of my friends said, "Hey, what if a real earthquake would have happened today? That would be so hilarious." So we all laughed at it because we thought it was seriously a joke. After we evacuated the school as a practice, we came back in our original classes and we continued. After math, it was computer class. It was 1. And 1:10, that's when the earthquake started. To be honest, I didn't feel it at first. I felt really, sick. I could have thrown up, but it wasn't really me. It was actually the earthquake. Wow. It started getting stronger, and I'm like, am I hallucinating? Or is this not me? Then one of my classmates screamed, "It's an earthquake!" And everyone stood in shock, and we were panicking because the normal alarm of earthquake didn't do anything. It didn't say anything. We just screamed. Our teacher was like, "Please calm down, settle down, and please go downstairs very calmly," and we didn't listen. Somebody screamed, "A piece of the roof fell!" Everyone started running a bit faster down the stairs. Wow. Then somebody screamed, "The stairs are rumbling, they're breaking!" And we ran even faster. They were pushing me, screaming, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna die today. Just get out of here, Marie. I grabbed onto something, don't remember what or who, and we ran. After we evacuated the school, the earthquake started to really calm down, and we were okay. One of my friends started crying because she didn't know what happened to her mom, because we couldn't call nor anything. After half an hour, the school was evacuating because there were cracks everywhere in school, and the piece of the roof was actually in front of my class. It was really scary. When my mom came in, she asked my friends, "Are you all right?" And they said yes, and we were all terrified. When I came home, I looked at the news, and some buildings, some schools were really bad. My school is trying to give donations to Oaxaca and Mexico and everywhere that the earthquakes have been damaged.
Oh, wow, that's really good. Alright, so I'm gonna end the video here. Okay? Alright. Make sure to like and subscribe this video, and also subscribe to this channel, Storyboard. See that? Subscribe. So yeah, also subscribe to my channel, like it, and hit the bell. It's down there. Alright. See ya, guys.